What's going on, Charles Botensten? So we are going to be continuing with the series that is going to be bringing you a lot of wisdom. I hope you've learned a lot so far. Obviously, leave comments below and let me know what you think, because to be honest, it's one of those things that this is my first series. This is my first actual product that I'm going to be putting out on the open marketplace. And like I said, I've spent way too much time doing just the dumbest things. And this is just the core ideas. I know there's hundreds of them, and there's going to be multiple of these series up to, you know, I have over almost 200 on here. So that's in the ones to come. So number 19, boring people don't get remembered. So this is a story that boring people don't get remembered, just in case I lost one of you guys. So why don't they get remembered? Number one is that to be unique, there's so much competition of average. I've talked about it before, is that you have 10% which has given up on life. They just don't care. They could care less about themselves, about other people. And then you have 80% that are just the average. And there's some people that are they're like just right on the cusp, right on the edge of being in the top 10%. And if you guys got this video, you obviously are part of that top 10%. And that's who I'm talking to, the people that are unique, the people that want to make a dent in this world. If you're boring, if you're not enthusiastic, if you're not excited, if you're not actually pushing into this world with new original ideas, creative ideas, continuously producing content, producing any products or services, that's the difference, is that execution. But the thing is, to sell your idea, to sell anything, you cannot be boring. No one buys boring. You know, who is it? Donald Trump that always was talking about Jeb Bush. He goes, low energy. And it's true. It's like nobody wants someone that's low energy. So I'll just tell you this story. I was dating this girl a couple years ago, and I go to a lot of social events for my job. And, you know, the social events could be a party, you know, grand opening, say a gallery, and I would bring her along and everything else. And then the next day I would call them and say, hey, listen, I'd call the person that invited me. I'd say, hey, listen, thanks for inviting me and her. I'm not going to say her name. And they would say, who? I'm like, say it's Barbara. Barbara. And they're like, oh. And you could hear that there was going through his mind, like, who is he talking about? And after that happened a couple of times, probably about after 7 months, I remember asking someone, I said, you don't remember? They're like, no, not really. I'm like, wow. And I started going through why doesn't someone remember someone. It's because they're just there. They're just there. The girl was beautiful. She was brilliant. Except she had no personality. There was no like, this is what makes me unique. And it hit me because I want someone that's unique. She's perfect for someone else, but I understood that she didn't like the risks. She didn't like bettering herself. And that was in the beginning part of when I started actually bettering myself, and I was saying, wow, okay, maybe this isn't for everyone. And I would try to push it on her, and she's like, no, I don't want to go to Tony Robbins. I don't want to learn about these books and everything like that. She wouldn't be watching this video anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, next one. Sell dreams, sell the image, sell the lifestyle. This goes to real estate. This goes to everything. What's the difference between Chanel and a Walmart bag? What's the difference between Louis Vuitton and another purse? What's the difference? They're made in a factory right next to each other. However, one is $1,500 or $5,000. Perfect example, I went to Roberto Cavalli. So if you don't know who Roberto Cavalli is, because I didn't at all, he's a designer, very high-end designer. And I remember I went to one of the New York Fashion Week parties, and Beyonce's sister, which I didn't even know she had a sister. I don't really listen to her music, but her sister was DJing, and we were in that little area. There's only about 10 of us. There was Miss Universe. Trust me, it wasn't like I'm special. It's because I knew someone that got us in. And I remember I knocked into Roberto Cavalli's new clothing line, and I like knocked into it, and someone's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like security like ran over, and I was like, take it easy. It's on a rack. I'm like, it's fine. And like, yes, there was hangers and it could have slipped off and fell on the floor. And I remember walking over and telling someone, like, do you know what you just knocked into? I'm like, yeah, just a bunch of dresses. Like, why did everyone freak out? They said, that's $100,000 worth of dresses. I'm like, get the fuck out. I'm like, 100,000? I'm like, how do, I went over, I turned it over, $10,000 dress, $8,000 dress, $9,000 dress. And I remember looking at it, and that's when it hit me. You are selling the emotion that someone is going to feel in a Roberto Cavalli dress. Because to be honest, it's made of silk. There's a lot of dresses made of silk. There's a lot more dresses way more expensive to actually make. The money is on the image. The money is on how you're going to feel when you put on that dress, when you show it off. It's like a watch. Why is one watch way more expensive? It's because of the image that person feels, the emotion that they receive. What's his name was at Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, the Vegas guy, Steve Wynn. So Steve Wynn was out there and he went to Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, which I highly recommend if you have, it's this expensive course. It's $10,000, $15,000. And Steve went there and he said, that's what I sell. I sell emotion. Everything he does, he sells the emotion. So I think you guys got enough of that. It's who you are. It's the people buy emotions and they justify it logically. That's what it is. Moving on. You only get one at bat, so swing. Okay? So this is one of, I forgot where I heard this from, but it really got me to think that this is the only time we're here. This is the only time that we actually get to do what we want. Look at the age you are right now. The age you are is exactly where you need to be to do what you need to get where you are is where the age you are is where you want to go. I don't know what I just tried to say. I had so many thoughts in my head. Number one is, if you don't believe me, go to a nursing home and volunteer. When my grandma was in a nursing home, I don't have any grandparents, but when I was at the nursing home and I went to visit her, she was, pretty much, she couldn't talk, she couldn't move, she couldn't do anything. It was actually really sad to see that. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm going to be there one day. And I remember looking around and talking to a couple people, and Gary Vaynerchuk actually made a video about this, where the video is called I Wish. I highly recommend you look it up, Gary Vaynerchuk. It's called I Wish. And it's just, I wish I did this. I wish I laughed more. Read the post, top five regrets of the dying. Read that post. That will change your life. One of them is, I wish I lived a life true to myself, not of what someone else said. Someone else, my parents, someone else, my friends, someone else, society, someone else, my school or my boss or my coach or my spouse. My spouse didn't want me to do this, so I didn't do it. My boyfriend said this, so I didn't do it. My girlfriend told me I shouldn't do it, so I didn't do it. Really? You're gonna regret that. Number one is living a life true to yourself. Number two is that they didn't laugh more. Number three is that they worked too hard. All right? These are the top 5 regrets of the dying. Of people that have no choice but to leave. They can't get younger. They can't get out of their wheelchair and start a business to get a better body, to get better health. Take care. Do you see how passionate I'm getting? Take care of your body. Do what you want to do. You get one shot, as Eminem says. One shot, one opportunity. He's right. You can't, you lose today, this is the last time you're going to be having this day. This is the last time you're going to be in high school to do what you want, in college, to be able to get a job and try as much as you can without the responsibilities of living on your own outside of school. And then you get that job and then you sit in that fucking job for a decade. And then you get out and you're like, where am I? I'm 31, 32. I'm now married with a kid. I'm bald and overweight. I don't care how old you are. You need to start now. Perfect example. My mom, so I own a real estate company in New York City. My mom, I've been telling her for years, I'm like, get licensed, get licensed. We could really use your help. Sure enough, guess what she did? She got licensed as a real estate agent. She now works for me. She's so jacked up. She's just, I'm not going to say her age, but she's old. She's so jazzed up. She looks 20 years younger than what actual age she is. And I am so proud of her. It's so motivating and inspirational. You only get, I can't stress this enough, because everything I'm going to be talking about, it doesn't mean shit if you don't try to do what you want to do. And myself is included. There's things that I'm like, I wish already, and I'm only 31. I wish I did this. I wish I did that. And I'm only 31, and I'm like, I'm gonna live another 80, 90 years. Number one is, that's my goal. Number two is the health is gonna get a lot better, like healthcare wise. And number three is that my mindset and everything else, that's where I'm going. I'm going way over 100. I'm crushing 100. I'm leaving 100 in the dust. 100 years old, that's what I mean. You only get one at bat. Honestly, the people that are the most successful know that they don't have much time on this earth to do what they want to do. So, will I regret not doing this? Live without regrets, then live not doing something. So this goes with what I was talking about. So in other words, will I regret not doing this? Tony Robbins brings this up all the time. All the time. Tony Robbins says he puts himself in two positions. Number one is, will I regret not doing this? So what does he do? He puts himself in the it's known as the rocking chair effect, where he sits there, he's way older, 100 years old, he's in the rocking chair and he's just rocking back and forth, and he's thinking back on his life, and he's thinking back at this time where the decision is to start a business, to say yes, to have a child, to go to the gym, small things, to wake up without snoozing, to get a morning routine, things like that. And he looks back and he says, will I regret not doing this? Will I regret not saying to that boy, I like him, to that pretty girl and approaching her and trying to go out? No, we're gonna go out. That's what I'm saying. So, will I regret not doing that? That is one of the biggest questions to ask to ensure that you have no regrets. This is incredible. When you up your game, everyone else too. Everyone else will too. Be the change you want in other people. I'll say that again. When you up your game, when you increase your game, that could be in anything, in health, wealth, love, happiness, whatever. When you up your game, everyone else will too. This is, I've already told it before, that you have to be the change that you want in other people. If you want your spouse to be healthy, you be healthy. Instead of telling them, you need to be healthy, you need to go to the gym, you need to eat right, you need to lay off the sugar, you need to lay off the drinking, stop smoking. Stop smoking pot. Whatever the case is. This really hits me because in my business, I've told people that work for me, I said, you need to do this. The problem is that I'm not doing it. I'm not the one doing it. It's easy for us to say, you're not doing it, you are not doing it. If I'm not doing it, why would they? You know, it's what it comes down to. If you're not the one reading, taking action, waking up early, going to the gym, saying I love you, doing the small things in a relationship, if you're not the one doing that, who's going to do that? They're not going to do it because they're not seeing it in you. Perfect example is when I first started in self-development in 2009, I went to Tony Robbins, and it was quite an experience because I almost didn't go, and then I went, and then I was going to ask for a refund, and I didn't, and that was the best decision of my life because that just brought me on the path, and I'm blessed that I did not. However, when I came back from Tony Robbins and he mentioned that, he goes, you're going to come back and people are going to be like, whoa, dude, calm down with this whole self-development thing. And sure enough, I bought like $1,000 worth of products. I put it all on a credit card. I brought it home. I gave it to my parents. I was like, listen to these 50, 70, 80 CDs. Oh my God. Just thinking about what I did is just really making me laugh. And I just laid it out there. They're like, okay, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Bye. But then as the years passed, they saw, okay, he's getting more confident. Okay, he's starting his own business. Okay, he's going into the earth, into the world as a more confident man, as a fun, outgoing, enthusiastic person. So I started embodying that, and then people actually, through osmosis, that's the only way that I had people actually change. Because you can't have someone change. That was the thing, is that for 25 5 years of my, or actually 22 when I started self-development, like, or not really started it, but I started reading books, my first book at 22, age 22. Actually, yeah, it was right before my 22nd birthday. I wasn't ready. For 22 years, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to pick up a book and question myself, question why I don't have the money or the body or the relationships or anything that I wanted in life. I wasn't ready. And an alcoholic needs to admit that step number one, admit I am an alcoholic and believe it. Smoker, anyone that needs to do something, bankruptcy or divorce or who they are, they need to admit it first. So we'll move on to the next video. I hope this was a very passionate, high-spirited little bout with the camera. So have an awesome day. Talk to you guys soon. See you on the next video.